Thanks to EA for the free game code. Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Akron Zips Dynasty mode here in CFB 26. So in last episode, if you did not catch it, we had the rest of the year 2 season, and we got into some recruiting battles with some certain players, which I'm hoping we could still land, but obviously with some of the other schools that are competing, it's going to be tough to land some of these guys, but I'm hoping obviously we could still get a few of them as we go through this offseason. But yeah, it was an interesting episode to say the least. We got a couple commits, which is nice, but obviously we need more, so I'm hoping we get a few more of those guys in this episode, so that way obviously we have some more people replacing the people that we're likely losing this season, because unfortunately one thing that kind of sucks is we are going to be losing our former recruit from last year already in Thad Tanyan. The main reason why is because of playing time. Now, I didn't really know how to set up basically who's starting and all that, so I at least know how to do it now, but I did not start him, so unfortunately we're going to lose him. But there is a quarterback we were looking at throughout the season this year, so hopefully he comes in, and that way he could kind of play where Tanyan was supposed to play, and that way we don't get into this issue where we have players wanting to leave just because of playing time. So it does suck that we're going to lose him. But at least we kind of understand now what we need to do better and how we could actually get these guys playing time. Now, there is a lot of people that have no persuasion chance to come back, so we will be losing a decent chunk of guys this year. There is some with very low, some with low, extremely low. I will probably try and talk to a couple guys, not necessarily Shram because we already have a kicker, but I will try and persuade at least a couple of guys in this episode because we do have 2 persuasions, so we will try and keep some of them, but most of these guys we probably will end up losing, unfortunately. So we'll see end up happening with that. And yeah, hopefully we don't have to recruit too much players and stuff like that to fill up our team, but we might not have a lot of good players on our team next year, and our team might be way worse just because obviously we're losing a bunch of people. So anyways, with that said, let's get in your guys' comments, see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we will get into this year 2 off season, so to speak, and we'll see what we end up recruiting, if there's any players to recruit, that type of thing. So the first comment is from Nick Baccabarons OC, who says, I remember telling you to start Tanyan, LOL, and yeah, you did say that, but I didn't know at that point in time how to actually do it. Now I know that if you go to your depth chart and stuff like that, that's how you make starters play in the starting positions, so I will have to do that before next season starts, so please remind me and make sure I'm doing it correctly as well, because obviously I'm still new to this game, so kind of a little bit nervous on that. Obviously, we actually might be able to do that in this episode too, so maybe I'll do it in this episode, and if there's any problems with what I just did, please let me know, because I'm still trying to learn this game. And the last 5 comments are from Dylan Burrows. The first one says, you could soft and hard sell some guys if you have high categories in their interest. You could select under to soft and hard sell, and yeah, I did see that. He also says and sway as well. I did see all of that stuff. I haven't used it yet. I don't know how much interest it generates if you sway people and stuff like that. But obviously that's something we could look into at some point, is swaying some people to hopefully win more of those kind of recruiting battles that we get into. He also says the end is only part of the offseason because you aren't in the playoffs or bowl games. And I think we just got through the bowl games in the last episode. So yeah, we are, I guess, technically maybe now in the offseason, but we're not fully officially in it. So there is a lot of stuff to do this offseason, like getting people to transfer over this team from other schools. Hopefully we can get some people to transfer over, but obviously this team is going to be really bad next season, so maybe just a lot of people with playing time will come here instead. He also says, I think you have to manually set up the lineup for starters or red shirt them. And yeah, I found out it's like this going to the depth chart now. Like if we go to it right here, if we go, I guess, technically select player, we can move them down in the lineup. So I could go like this. And now Tanya's technically the starter, I think. That's technically how it would work. But Tanyan, I don't think I could bring him back still here because he didn't play a full season. If we actually did something like that, he would have been playing. But that's basically, I guess, how you readjust it. I just didn't know you could actually do them in the screen. So at least now I know. And hopefully you guys could help me set up who's the red shirt people and stuff like that. Like I want to make sure we're getting all of our young guys as high as possible in the lineup. So yeah, we'll probably try our best to reorganize our lineup again next season. And lastly, he says, sorry for an extra comment here. I also think you should look at possible transfers on the screen when you're recruiting. That way you could see what positions you may need or what you could do to keep them. And yeah, I guess, yeah, that kind of makes some sense just in case we end up losing a lot of people that we're not really expecting. Because as you can see now, we're technically dropped off from a half a star down to a 0-star team. So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit worried that I'm not doing the best job here. But obviously, if we get better recruits, if we get guys like Branham growing, that will be huge for this team. So anyways, with that said, I think we're ready to get into this offseason. So let's go back here again and go to those players leaving. Who do I want to try and persuade to stick around with this team? Obviously, I can't do it on the nuns. I don't think, at least. Maybe I could change. It doesn't say there's a chance to persuade. Like, if I go to this, will it just give me an error? No, it just says he's not persuaded. So that just wasted a persuade just because it said none. I know it said none, but I was hoping that maybe it would somehow change. But unfortunately, we can't persuade him. Who do I want to stick around? We don't really need to try the kicker. The low ones are probably the easier ones too. We could try and get Whitney to stay as a guard. Safety, right tackle. We don't necessarily need this other quarterback really either. Let's just try one of the low guys. So we'll go with the guard, I guess. So since he's got the best chance to. So let's see if he'll come back again. And he's decided to stay. So at least we got one of the two players. But obviously it sucks that we could not try getting Tanyan back. I wish Tanyan would have at least had a chance to. Since obviously we just picked him up last year. But unfortunately we made a big mistake. But obviously we know now how we could avoid those mistakes. So with that said, let's advance to next week. See what we're working with, but I'm really hoping we get some of these guys committing to this organization here shortly. So Hooks has reached his top 3 schools. We're definitely likely going to land James Hooks, which is fantastic because we have a huge ass lead. We are rated 61s across the board again, which is surprising. So we might have gotten better actually, which is kind of surprising. But once those players leave, it probably drop off. But yeah, Hooks is probably somebody we're likely going to land. The good thing for him is it's playing time. We will definitely have him as like a starter or a backup, something like that. Hitchcock has reached his top 5 schools. We're still leading, but there is another team trying to catch up. He's a 2-star recruit only, but we do need more center backs if possible. So, or cornerbacks, whatever the heck CB stands for again. But let's advance and see what we got now. So now we got the transfer portal and off-season recruiting. There is the draft results, which is this the players I just picked up during the season? Oh, no, it's during... Actually, maybe I can take a look at them already. There's a couple people we had recruited for this season, or during the season. I'm trying to remember who they were. Oh, yeah, I guess technically since Mayer didn't transfer, he'll actually be one of these guys that we could use as well, which is kind of nice. Obviously, he's one of the players we actually picked up last year, so... Wait, did they get any points? No points from Eric because he didn't play. That makes sense. Branham has no points, but he will be probably playing in the lineup next year. Truin, was he one playing time? No, Prox to home. Labinho, pro potential. Yeah, Labinho is definitely one of those guys that risk probably leaving this team via transfer as well, unfortunately. Pope, Flanagan. Just double check and see if I can find any guys I picked up recently. Obviously, we saw Griffin last year. I'm just trying to more look for the ones I picked up this year to see what their overalls are. I don't even remember necessarily the names either. Bibbs and Witherspoon. Yeah, I don't remember what the names are of the people I brought in this season. There's Whitney who came back again, which is nice, at least to give us a bit more depth. Aside from that... Yeah, a lot of the guys that we picked up in year 1 didn't move. It just sucks that the quarterback that we, Tanyan, left. I don't know if I could still try and get Tanyan to still stay here, but I hope I can. Lakusa, I thought was supposed to graduate, so I think he's supposed to be gone. But I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't think I could take a look at my prospects yet. I don't really remember. And I don't even remember their names either, but we have more guys that still might come here. So let's go back on this, and let's go to transfer portal off-season recruiting. We have 375 hours to work on, and we want to get these guys that we were working on before to commit. We don't have a lot of hours spent on Jennings. Now that we just lost a 3-star quarterback, I think we got to work hard on Jeff Jennings still. So I am going to send the house on Jennings because I think we need that 3-star quarterback, especially after losing Tanyan. So we'll do that. So that should be good. We could probably send the house on a lot of these guys almost, so to speak. Casey is a halfback. Yeah, I probably will send the house on a lot of these dudes. Now, there is people we could try and get to transfer from other schools, but I think these guys are probably our priority. Oh, man, we have a lead actually now for Thomas again, but it's so close that it's going to come down to the wire. We are going to send the house again on him. I don't think I could do a sell at the same time, can I? Let's do a soft sell. There's not enough hours. Yeah, I can't do any more. I can only do 50 out of 50. So I don't know still if we're going to land Thomas, but I'm really hoping so. We obviously got Carter to commit here, which is good. Winston also committed here. Hammer is not one that committed to us, so we got to remove him from our list here. So we'll select him and remove him from this list if I can. Yep, there you go. Let's see. Shark, we don't really need to send the house on him, so to speak, because we are probably close to locking him up, man. We need a lot of things this offseason. It's kind of frustrating losing a lot of people, but it makes sense. Also, this game is kind of acting a bit slow here right now. I do not know why. Yeah, we need a lot of things. Goddamn, man. Didn't expect to need that much. Let me go back for a second here. Why can't I click on Shark? It's glitched out here. Now, there was a patch, so let me go exit out of recruiting for a second here because I think it's glitched. Let's go back into it. I hope the patch did not break things because that'd be kind of annoying. Let's go back up here again and find those guys again. Where is the Shark? Okay, now I could go into him. Yeah, I think it was glitched out. Shark, I don't really need to spend too much into him, but it would be nice to land him. I could actually spend maybe a little bit of hours on him. He's not the craziest player in the world, but we need bodies. Heath is close to committing here. We don't need to probably spend much more hours on him, but I will probably still contact his friends and family at least or something like that just to try and get him the full-on commit. Hitchcock we're winning on right now. Let's just add at least something to him because just to have as an option. Safety, Anthony Davis we are winning on. Let's just add some stuff to him as well. Strong safety. Hooks was close to committing, I think. Yeah, he's very close. So we could probably send the house to try and get him to fully make that decision. Aguide, we're in a pretty good matchup right now. Let's also send the house on him to try and win him. Kicker, punter, nothing. Okay. So we do still have some hours we could use on the transfer portal, but we need a shit ton of things, man. And we're probably going to look just into 2-star guys at this point, I think. Just because I doubt I could get these 3 stars. So let's first go quarterbacks. We are going to need... Actually, we have... If we get... Can we look at Tanyan again here? I know he's probably in this group of players, right? Can I still go after Tanyan if he's there? No, he's not even there. Huh. Interesting. Maybe he locked us out? I can't tell. We do need some more halfbacks and stuff. God damn, man. There's so much shit to do in this game sometimes. God damn. Let's see. All of these guys don't have any offers, but... Ooh, we are close on Rush to getting into his top 8. We're first on him. Barbosa. Oh my god. Duckett. I guess since we need more halfbacks, let's kind of get Rush and Duckett. Wide receiver, we technically need one more. That's not a huge thing, I guess. Tackle. Since we need one tackle. Is there anybody that has us high up? Yes, there is. 1-star, 1-star, 2-star in Brett Campbell. There is a tight race right now. We should probably go on playing time or proximity to home or something like that, but let's go conference prestige on Campbell, sure. And then guard. Let's see. We need 1 only. That's not a huge one. Edge, we need 3. We do have Winston already committed as somebody, but I don't think he's an edge. Holy moly, man. I feel a little bit overwhelmed again. Let's see. Pro potential. Playing time. Boom. Plain style, pro potential, plain style. Come on, give me another playing time. Playing time again there with McGree. We'll try both those guys out. Defensive tackle, we're going to need some of these dudes too. Pro potential, playing style. Just give me proximity to home or something, please. Oh, there's a prox to home. And we have a B- on that, so let's try Ogba. Linebacker. We need maybe one more at least. Holy man. I don't even know if we're going to be able to lock every single player that we need before the season starts. This is ridiculous, though. Is there anybody with prox to home? Oh, there's a proximity to home. There's an A+1 because he's from Akron. Adrian Sabri. We'll definitely try on that. We do need some mics. So for McGinn, plain style with you. Come on, give me more proxes. Proxes are good. Playing time, sure. That works for me. Any proxes though? Not really. And we'll come back to that. Quarterback, we still need some as well. Holy moly, man. There is a lot of stuff to do this offseason. Whew. I am kind of stressed out about trying to bring all these players in. Because I don't think we're going to be able to get players for every single area we need. This guy's only 1-star, but we might as well try a 1-star. Because we're at this point where we just need bodies, right? Like, I could throw my name in a hat for some of the higher ones, but we don't have a lot of weeks to work with. This guy's a 3-star and wants just playing time, so... But he doesn't have us on his interest list. Let's go with Grossman. Sure. And then another safety. And let's keep the rest of that the same. Don't want to put too many people on this list. Let's go back to our full list here. Holy hell, man. And let's go to the bottom of this list, just because that's where all our new guys will be. And obviously we're not going to spend hours scouting them out individually, but we will offer scholarships to all of them just to start off things. We could send a house on some of them too, because we're drastically going to need them, but I don't know if we're going to have enough hours. But let's offer scholarships at least on all of them, just so that way we get some interest on some of them if there is no way we could get a scholarship sent out. Oh my god. I really hope we can make some good splashes, but I'm kind of nervous, especially about some of the other guys we're trying to recruit throughout the season. I guess technically the players we need the most I should probably send more to, but I guess for 3 guys I could probably DM the player on, so I guess we'll do, for Duckett we'll go DM the player. And then there's also, we'll go down to Campbell, we'll DM the player. And we'll go down to Coffee and DM the player as well. I honestly don't know how I should be spending my hours in these off seasons, but let's try that out and see if we could help ourselves land some good players here as well. So that is all spent. We could upgrade our coaching skills still too, which I still don't really know what I want to spend those 48 coins on, so I might wait till the start of the season to make that decision. But let's advance a week throughout the first week of off-season recruiting. See if we get any commits on those guys I sent house to and all that. Quite nervous for this. So, to answer that question, we got DeAndre Heath, so that's our first commit of this episode. So let me remove my face so you guys can see all his details. From Suwanee, Georgia. So that's a 3-star cornerback. I like that. That's a nice pickup. So welcome aboard to DeAndre. The question is, did we get any of the 4-star recruits I was looking at, or the 4-star recruit I was looking at? Did we get any 3-stars? That's the only commitment we got in this episode so far. All right, I don't mind it. Obviously, nobody else committed around the league yet, so let's go back to this and see the updates on the recruiting. So, yeah, we got DeAndre, which is good. Duckett has reached his top 8 schools. We're number 1 by far. Rush, we're number 1 by far. Campbell, we're number 1 by not too much. Coffee, we're barely number 1. McGree, we are number 3. And Grossman, we are number 3 by a large margin. All right. So we still don't know about Robert Thomas, and that's obviously the scary one because he's a 4-star recruit, so quite nervous on that. Jennings, we're still number 1. He's very close to reaching his top 3 schools, so we'll keep that because we do need that quarterback. Casey is very close to reaching his top 3. We know about Duckett. Rush has no stuff going into him. We do have 75 hours now, though, because we got to commit. So we could put more hours into some of these guys. Robert Thomas is very close to committing here. We have a little bit of a lead. The other team did not pick up any gain that week, but it could be because that was the beginning week. This might be the week where they get more. So this is going to come down literally to the last week. And if I'm being honest, looking at how much we just gained, I think we might be a hair under full commit. But if they get more interest in us within this week, they might get a commitment by the end of the week. We might be just barely out of it. But it's still a very tight race for Robert Thomas. I am still scared as hell for that. That's part of why I didn't want to record yet on this episode, but my God. Carter, we already know he's committed here, so don't need to worry about that. Campbell has us as number 1. Good to see on that. We'll keep him in that spot for now. Winston committed here. Coffee's got some competition a bit. McGree, we could probably... Did I put any things into him? No, I didn't. Let's put 5 hours into him in social media just to jump this up a little bit. Ogba, we are in number 2 right now. We are actually in a tight race with, of course, the... What are they called? The Mud Hens? I don't remember what they're called. Let's add a little bit of time into him as well. Shark, how are we looking on Shark? Still pretty solid. He's close to reaching his top 3. We will keep that the same. Sabari. Damn, that top team is very close to probably landing him easily. So I don't think we're going to be able to get a Bari. But just because we need more players at this position, let's add some drastic hours to him just to see if that helps anything. Uzoma. We are close to reaching his top 8. We will keep... let's add this social media. Why not? At this point. Heath committed here, which is good. Hitchcock, how are we looking on Hitchcock? Still leading, which is good. Savage is way down there. Grossman way down there. I'll come back to those guys at some point. Davis is not committed yet, but still good. Hooks is closer and closer to committing. We'll keep that the same. Aguide, we are actually now in first. We have taken over from James Madison. This is going to come down to the wire on this one as well. So we won't know until maybe next week. But my God, I like these kind of recruiting battles, but I also get quite nervous, especially if they're a good player or not. All right, we have 35 hours. Let's go back to prospect list here and transfer portal and see if there's anybody interesting. Oh, I guess I technically was only just looking at the prospects, not just to transfer people. Is there anybody that has us super high on the list to transfer over here in a position of need? I mean, none of these are super crazy to need, but let's see. Let's go recommended, and we will go, let's go to safety and see, because we do need a safety here. Pro potential, pro potential, pro potential, pro potential. Yeah, that's not really going to work here, I don't think. And we do have the pro potential, but still, it's kind of like, is it great? I don't know. Let's go to the mics for a second here. Playing time. We only have 1 of the 2 mics. We've offered a couple mics, some contracts already, though. I think we should probably wait on some of these dudes, but because some of them are going to want playing time. Maybe I'll go back to the prospect list and see if we can find anything in this. I feel like prospects are more fun to bring in, almost in a way. Kind of to make it a little bit more like a draft to glory type of style. Where's defensive tackle again? Let's bring in maybe another defensive tackle or try. We might as well go for somebody that's like it doesn't care about playing time really either. Let's see, any proximities to home that I did not look at. Oh, there's a prox. 2 stars. Oh, that's Ogba again. Just trying to look and see if we could find anybody here that we didn't bring in yet. Brown, pro potential. Poland, what a name. Trufant wants playing time. Oh my God. Why does everybody want playing time? Because it's going to be hard if we have too many people that want playing time, because they might want to leave, of course. I feel like we don't really need to look at much else right now. Here's some more quarterbacks, but they want playing time, which they're not going to get really here, I don't think. Not with our current situation. I do want to spend some hours on some people, but I do not know where to go. Wide receiver, pro potential, playing time. Is there anybody with just procs again? I feel like this is a lot more work this offseason than it was last offseason. There's a 1-star guy. I guess I could do that because we do have a lot of wide receivers already. So Moses Kirkus will just work into you a bit, even though I don't really think you're a huge player, of course, because you're only 1-star, but might as well add somebody at least to this list, right? And we will just offer him a scholarship, so that way maybe he could be a depth option. There's still 30 hours, so I guess I could put that into some other people that don't have anything sent into them, really. So somebody like Rush, just in case we don't get Duckett. We might as well spend some hours into him. And anybody else that I want to put hours into that's important. I guess we could add more hours to somebody like Campbell. Just try and get him up there in interest. Coffee had a little bit of a battle, I think, before, so we'll add 5 hours to him as well. Let's add some more hours to McGree as well. There you go, perfect. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to think about this offseason so far, but hopefully we get some news here that will change everything. If we get Robert Thomas to commit, this offseason's a win. If we don't get him to commit, it will suck a lot, but here it comes. We might find out this week if he commits. We might find out the following week. There's also that other there's that 3-star recruit that also is in a recruiting battle. This is a big week of sim. Did we get any more commitments, and is there any of the big guys that we've been in recruiting battles for? So the answer to that is no, not yet. That scares me a little bit. We'll come back to that update in a second here. So let's go back to the recruiting updates. So Casey has reached his top 3 schools. He has not committed yet, but he's reached his top 3. Jennings has reached his top 3. We're pretty close to getting him to commit here. There's also Coffee, who we're in second behind. I think that's Temple, if I remember right, for schools, but we fall into second for him. Ogba, we are still number 2 behind whatever that team's called. Again, they were not a good team to start. Uzoma, we are currently have first place, and he's reached his top 8. So no real big updates that week, which means those other guys that we're in a battle for is going to be interesting. Let's go to recruiting here and take a look at those updates on those guys. So Jennings, like I said, getting close to committing. Hopefully he commits, because that'd be fantastic for a 3-star quarterback. Halfback wise, Casey's still getting closer to committing. Duckett is obviously first for us. Rush as well. Wide receiver. Oh my goodness, we might actually get it done. Robert Thomas, I think, might commit here, unless there's a miracle that second place team all of a sudden jumps up. But I think they haven't gone up a lot this offseason. They've been putting their focus more on probably a transfer, my guess. But we might be getting our 4-star recruit. I was not thinking we were going to get him because they were getting more interest every single week, but they must have shifted their focus to some transfer guy. That's my guess. Like, we will definitely take a look at that in a second, but that is huge news. That is absolutely huge. Aside from that, there's that other battle guy I was looking at. Let's see. It wasn't any of these dudes. Where is this other guy? It's not you. It's not Uzoma. It was... Who was it that we were battling for? It wasn't Davis. Hooks is very close to committing to, which is awesome. Aguide is very close to committing to. Perfect. So we've almost won both of our recruiting battles, because I think other teams are shifting their focus to real players that are still on other teams. So yeah, I'm very happy that we are probably going to win some of our battles here, because I didn't expect that in last episode whatsoever. We do still have 5 hours that I could put into people, but I don't know where I would put it in. Is there anybody that needs more hours? Maybe somebody like Rush. Sure, let's just add those 5 hours there, so we're using everything. All right, well, let's advance another week. We are at week 3 of 4 on recruiting. Let's advance and see if we get that 4-star recruit, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get him. It's just all about, obviously, if that other team actually throws some interest into him. Actually, let me go back to this for a second. I do want to see if any of the big-name wide receivers have interest from that school that was competing with us, because maybe that's really why. Let's see. why that guy hasn't got much interest from that other team. Not recommended. Let's just go any state, and we'll sort by overall here. Because that other team is way better than us, so they could probably land some really big start players. That just shows what their previous team was. I didn't even look at their interest here. I want to kind of see who is leading. Let's see. I feel like they must have shifted their focus to somebody. Unless they decided not to battle with us, which is kind of strange. I'm not seeing that team anywhere so far. But good for us that we're probably going to land a 4-star recruit. Good for us. Alright, so let's advance. Did we get our first 4-star recruit of the series in Robert Thomas? The answer to that is yes, we did. Let's go. Robert Thomas has joined Akron. Very, very happy about that. That was a big battle all season long for this guy. We're lucky we probably got him, but now obviously he's a guy that we need to make sure we get into the lineup for sure next season. From Blythewood, South Carolina. That's a huge one. Very, very happy with that. So shout out to Robert Thomas for joining the team. Did we get anybody else to commit? Yes, we did. James Hooks will also commit from Sashi, Texas. So there's a strong safety for us. Nice 3-star recruit. I think we've done pretty good in terms of getting higher end players this year than last year. We also do get another 3-star, that being another strong safety in Maurice Aguirre. So we do get 2 very solid strong safeties. Hopefully one of them isn't going to complain about playing time. Aside from that, nobody else committed, but that is exactly what I wanted to see. 3 big commits, especially that 4-star. Let's friggin' go. That might give us a bit more offense at least. So, yeah, Thomas has joined us. We got James Hooks, and we got Maurice Aguirre. Coffee has unfortunately reached his top 3 schools, and since we didn't put enough interest into him, he has locked us out, so we will not be getting Vinny Coffee. Josh Duckett still has us at first. Same with Campbell. And McGree has us in second at the moment. All right. So we do get some big fish, which means we got more hours to spend this week, I think. Which is that's exciting. 165 more hours. So we are close to getting some commitments. We could put more hours into... I guess we technically have the house sent on those guys, so that doesn't matter. These guys we don't need to put more hours into fully. We got our wide receivers. Who needs more hours spent into them? Me. Actually, let's go back to the prospect list. What do we need fully still? We still only have 1 out of 3 quarterbacks, it says. So we kind of need another quarterback, which I don't think we do, though, because we have people already on our team. I don't even know. I did say, oh, we need a punter. I didn't even realize we needed a punter. All right, let's get a punter if we can. Maybe somebody to transfer as a punter, just because that might be easier to get. We want to go punter on that. Let's see. There's a 2-star guy. Anybody with procs? Oh, there's one with just playing time. Well, I guess we'll go with Jameson. And we'll spend some hours into him. But who else needs some hours spent on them? Coffee locked us out. So we got to work a little bit harder probably on McGree because of that. So let's remove this and then put like 50 hours into McGree. I know he's not the craziest player in the world, but might as well spend some hours into something we need. Ogba and Shark and stuff like that we probably should work on. I didn't mean to click that, goddamn man. So many buttons to press in this game too. Let's try and get this a little bit higher on Ogba. Shark, how are we looking like that so far? That's good, but let's add some more. Sabari, we're kind of making up some ground, but I don't think we're going to win him still. Let's just try and spend some more hours on him anyways. Ozoma, let's DM him, sure. We're just trying to spend more hours on these guys to get closer and closer to commitments. Probably should work on Hitchcock still since we need cornerbacks. So let's do that. Anthony Davis still hasn't committed yet. I want kind of him to commit, so let's spend some more hours into him. And aside from that, there's the punter only, so let's just offer him a scholarship and then spend 30 hours into him as well, since we need a punter kind of. So there you go. We are in the final week of recruiting this offseason, so I don't think we could get any more people committing after this week. So there's probably a lot of people that won't commit, but I think we've done a decent job with bringing in some 3 stars and, of course, that 4 stars. So let's advance another week and see if we get any more commits at this point in time. So the first answer to that is, yes, we got some more commitments. And the first one to commit is that 3-star halfback in Marquez Casey. So that's awesome, from Lakeland, Florida. All right. We do also get Jeff Jennings, the quarterback. So that's good to see, considering we lost Tanyan. At least we made up for it with Jeff Jennings from Mesa. I think it's Mesa, Arizona, or maybe it's pronounced Mesa. I don't even know. But welcome to Jeff Jennings. We also do get Anthony Davis committing, so that's good. I guess they do all start to commit near the end of the season, or off season, from Littleton, Colorado. So there is a full safety, or whatever FS stands for, I can't remember. Martin Shark is also committed as a 2-star recruit from Antioch, Illinois. We also get Byron Hitchcock as a cornerback from Lakeland, Florida. So a couple of guys from Florida men. We also get Josh Duckett from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Yeah, we have a lot of guys from Florida. Kareem Ogba from Acton, Massachusetts. So we are getting a lot of people to commit here at this week. This is probably the most in a week we've had. We get Quintarius Uzoma from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Holy crap, there's more. Moses Kirkus from Detroit, Michigan. We also get Brett Campbell, the left tackle from Akron, Ohio. So nice to have a nice hometown guy again. Holy moly. Greg McGree, who's one of those Regs from Hampton, Georgia. We also get George Rush, who's from Orlando. So yeah, a lot of Florida men joining this team. Mitch Jameson, the punter, will join us as well from Florida too. So that is definitely the craziest week I've ever had. We had some people lock us out too, but we had an absolute ton of commitments. And we've leveled up to level 15, which is nice. But this should be interesting to see what our team is looking like next year in terms of setting it up and all that. But so we got Casey, we got Jennings, Davis, Shark, Hitchcock, Duckett, Ogba, Azoma, Kirkus, Campbell, McGree, Rush, and Jameson. Grossman locked us out. He went with somebody else. Sabri went somewhere else, and same with Savage, which makes sense. So I guess technically at the end of it, you get, if you're leading in that school for those prospects, they actually commit right away. So that's all good and ready to go. National Signing Day. Does that mean we could take a look at how good our players are now that we brought in? I think so. So I don't know if I'll remember every single player's names, but let's go to our team here and go to our depth chart and take a look at all those players and their overalls, I guess, because I think I could take a look at that in this episode. So let's remove my face. So Mayer is up to a 59 apparently, just in case you're wondering about Mayer from last year. We have Branham, Truin, Labinho, Flanagan, fullbacks. All right, Flanagan, Witherspoon, Bibbs. If you guys see somebody that should be like a starter, please let me know. Paul Davis. All right. Anybody here that I brought in? Griffin, I guess I brought in last year. I guess we don't take a look at them yet. Yeah, I think we take a look at them soon, but not yet. So we'll wait a couple more weeks before we go through that. Just because it doesn't look like we get to find out about how good Robert Thomas is and stuff yet. I think he's going to be like a really good player, though, based on what I saw from him. All right, so that's good. Coach skills, we're not going to upgrade yet. Position changes, I don't know if there's any position changes, and I kind of want your guys' opinion on position changes, but I don't know if there's anybody that we should probably change positions, so I think I'm going to keep it like this. We are 54s across the board right now, which is kind of insane, but let's keep it the same for now, just because I don't know if there's anybody worth changing. So we'll advance to next week, see if we get any update on what those player overalls are like. We have leveled up another time and very close to level 17, so getting more coins to upgrade our coach. So that's nice. Let's see. Training results. All right, so this is, I guess, the updates from the regular season, so people growing and all that. So this is, I guess, an important part. Mayer has jumped to a 62, so he's obviously still low-end prospect, but still he's growing. Branham's up to a 71. Obviously, that's great to see. He will likely be the starting halfback next season. We also have Truin, 65, Labinho, 64. Just looking more for the guys I actually drafted myself. Griffin's up to a 66. looking pretty speedy, of course. Then we head over to tight end. Nobody I picked up there. Left tackle. None of these guys I think I brought in. Actually, did we just bring in Campbell? Yeah, I think we actually do get to take a look at the guys maybe we just brought in, right? Was Robert Thomas there? Never mind, maybe not. Campbell was on a different team probably last season. Or actually, wait, Campbell was the guy that was on our team already last season. I'm just getting him confused with the Campbell I was looking at, I think, this offseason. Guards. All right. Looks like some guys are growing a little bit. Nobody at center, I don't think. Actually, did we pick in Freeman? I don't remember who we brought in last year fully. So Folds is up to a 64 as a guard. Tackle. I don't think I brought any of those guys in. Could be wrong. Shepard. All right. Brown is not somebody I brought in. Yeah, I don't remember really some of the names I brought in last season already. Mayette was definitely 165 now for him. So it's good in general to see at least a lot of these guys are starting to grow. So that will make our team hopefully better next season. Coco's up to a 67 apparently. So I don't think there's anybody I brought in there. Cornerback, Swan's up to a 67. DeVoe also up to a 67. And Dillette to a 65. Safety, I don't remember if I picked up any of those guys last year. Strong safety, I think I picked up, not Wall, actually. I picked up Maja for sure. Maja's up to a 58, not really that great. Kickers, Sambrelio is a 73 still, but his awareness rating is getting better, and same with his kick power. And in punchers, we didn't pick up anybody last year, but we did pick up this guy in free agency. Or not free agency, I guess technically transfer portal. 80 overall for Mr. Mitch Jameson, so not too bad. Not too bad on that front. All right, so that's good. Let's advance to next week, see what we got in terms of our next part of this offseason, which I think we're getting closer to the end of this offseason, so that's good. Encourage transfers. This might be a good spot to stop it. Yeah, this might be a good spot to stop it. So we do need to think about encouraging some people to leave this team just because, actually maybe not. We do have a lot of roster spots still available, but there might be some guys that need playing time that aren't going to be playing. So Brookart would be the starter. Mayer would probably be the backup quarterback behind him. Jennings right now, who we just brought in, his deal breaker is playing time. So I would probably obviously be moving Jennings into the spot, which means Mayer probably, his is just proximity to home. We'll probably have Mayer as the red-shirted dude. Jennings will probably play. Oh, man. Brookart wants playing time, too. That's the only problem. Now, Brookart isn't a guy I picked up, so I don't care too much about him, but Jennings probably should be playing just because that's his deal breaker. Aside from that, Labinho, his deal breaker is pro potential. I don't know if he'll be playing next year. Branham, proximity to home, still he'll probably be playing. Truin. Yeah, I'll probably wait on this stuff. If we want to encourage anybody to leave our team, maybe we encourage Brookart. Tough to say. We need all those quarterbacks just in case, though, maybe. I don't know if there's anybody I would want to. And, okay, we do have the overall update on the players we brought in. At least I should mention that. So, yeah, Jennings was a 64 with an impact dev trait. So that's awesome. So shout out to Jeff Jennings. Other people we brought in, Duckett's only a 58, normal dev trait, not really a surprise. KCU we just brought in as a 71 with a normal dev trait, does have a physical attribute, which is sidekick. So shout out to him. We see Branham there with sidekick, roller coaster, road dog, Truin, stuff like that. Rush, who I just brought in, is only a 62, does have an adrenaline mental. All right. And then we also saw wide receivers. So we do have a lot of these guys. Maybe we should encourage somebody to leave here because Griffin's one of the prospects we brought in. But Robert Thomas, the 4-star recruit, is looking nice. He only has a normal dev trait, which is kind of surprising. I was thinking he'd be better, but he has 50-50 as a physical thing, and in mentals, he's got adrenaline, clear-headed, and winning time. Very excited for Robert Thomas, and he should definitely be the starter at wide receiver, or one of the starting wide receivers, I should say. Kirkus is a 51, not very good. And then JoJo Carter's a 66 with actually an impact dev trait despite being listed, I think, as a bust. So both him and Thomas should probably be playing for sure. Not bad. So we probably want to encourage somebody on wide receiver, I would assume, to relocate, but I'm not too sure on that. Let me remove my face just in case these lists are a little bit longer. Tight end doesn't matter much. Left tackle, Campbell's a 65. All right, guard. All right, not really anything there. Centers. Let's see, who else do we pick up? Winston's a 66, does have an impact dev trait, so another solid pickup. Does have a mental called The Natural, which I don't know what all these are for, but nice to see. Folds is going to roller coaster, okay. Then we head to tackle, looks pretty basic. Ledge, doesn't matter, I guess. Defensive tackle, Ogba's a 56, all right. Yeah, it's up to a 65 as we mentioned before. The Regis, McGree's a 69. That's actually a pretty solid starting point for him. That's pretty solid because I think he's only a 2-star recruit. So, but some of these guys have playing time, so we need to get some of them for sure in the lineup next year. I just need your guys' opinion on who should be in, because we don't want to end up losing some of these guys again next offseason. Coco, his deal breaker is coach prestige, so he's a risk to like leave this team potentially, I guess, which is not great. Zoma's only a 59, if you're wondering on him. Wills, Sabri's a 60. All right. We also do have Shark, who's a 59. Cornerback, DeVoe's up to a 67, we mentioned already. Hitchcock's a 62. Swan, we saw, is a 67. Heath is a 66. His thing is proximity to home, so he doesn't technically need to play this year, but it would be nice. Does want playing time, though. Swan wants playing time, and DeVoe wants playing time. So, likely I'd probably keep Heath as a red shirt. And then Savage also is proximity to home. He's only a 52. Safeties, Anthony Davis is also a 66. Normal dev trait for him. He wants playing time, though, which is interesting. I don't know if we should encourage any of these people to transfer on this spot, because I don't know if he'd be playing, unless I redshirt him technically. Strong safeties, we saw about some of the guys growing, but Aguide's a 66. He wants procs to home, so that's a matter about playing. Hooks wants to play, so we probably will put him in. Maja or somebody might get redshirted because of that, though. Yeah. And a kicker, obviously, we have Sambrailio, who will be playing. Punter, we just brought in Jameson. He should probably be playing, which means Castle is probably going to get encouraged to transfer. Probably. I would not too sure on that, but that's my guess. So there's that. Anything else we need to do before we end this episode? I don't think so. But we definitely need to encourage some people to transfer, because there's a lot of people that we need to find ways to get playing time. It's either that or we end up reshirting those people that we can't utilize right now. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Akron Zips Dynasty mode here in CFB. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Akron Zips Dynasty mode. So in next episode, we'll continue the rest of the offseason, and we'll get into a little bit of year 3. I'm very excited for some of the new recruits, obviously, but I'm really hoping that we don't end up losing some of them. I think we're doing a good job of picking up players with proximity to home, at least, and playing time related stuff. So right now, at least, it's pretty easy to break up some good players, but once we have a really good team, obviously there's going to be players that we probably would prefer to bring in with like coach prestige and stuff like that, I guess, down the road. So very excited just to see how this team builds up, but hopefully the team looks better on paper once we put it all together at the start of the season. So saying down below, and I'll see you guys next time.